Thanks again to Kelly for this challenge for HR month in Preppin data. So we have the same data set that we worked with in the previous week, where we can see all of those different statuses that candidates go through. And what we want to do is we want to know what the most recent status is. So we're going to use a ranking function in order to do that. So we're going to look at this timestamp field and we're going to rank it in the number one rank will be the most recent day for each candidate and each position. So let's carry that out. So if I just expand that calculation that we did, we went to the timestamp field and did create calculated field rank, and that will open up for us this visual editor. So it's going from like the most recent to the least recent in the sorting order. That's the default in Prep, so that's how we want it to be. And we're grouping by the candidate ID and the candidate position. So for each time that a candidate has gone for a particular role, that's being treated separately. Okay, so we've got that. Now what we want to be able to do with this data is we want to find out for all of those where we've had the candidate withdraw. We want to know what was their status before. So what's the number 2 rank when they've withdrawn. So in order to do that, I decided that it would be easiest to filter to just the most recent positions. So at this stage we filter to just the most recent positions and then filter to just when the candidate withdrew. So filter to those two things, and then we can see we have 22 candidates that withdrew from the process. So we join that back to our original data set just to get the information about all the stages for those 22 candidates. And then, so joining on the candidate ID and candidate position. And then we filter to keep only rank number 2 this time. So if I click there, then now we can see these statuses would be the statuses just before they withdrew. And then I'm just removing a lot of different fields and renaming our status to be the status before withdrawal. And I'm aggregating this data so that we only have each of those statuses and how many candidates were in that status, and just renaming that field withdrawals. Okay, so then for the rest of the data, what we're doing is we're just grouping by the status and counting again those number of rows, and doing a little bit of renaming to say that's the total in status for each of those statuses, and then joining these two streams together on the statuses. So we need to make sure that we're doing a right join here, depending on which data set is on the left or right hand side, so that we're including all of those, not just, so we're including all candidates, not just those who withdrew, which would be just those in the inner join. So then we just need to do a little bit of renaming, rejigging, and making those withdrawals zeros. So the way that I did that is literally just double clicking on the null value and typing in a 0. Which is nice and simple in Prep, but you could also write an if calculation if you wanted to. And then finally, we just need to work out that percentage withdrawn. So to do that, then we calculate the withdrawals times by 100 over the total in status and round it to 1 decimal place. And then we have the same output as Kelly had. So hopefully that challenge was enjoyable for you. I certainly really enjoyed it, so thank you very much for watching.